Welcome to the Blue Aces podcast, where we're just trying to explore, how AI is reshaping industries, accelerating innovation. I'll be your host, Jack Budick, and today I'm joined by Lorenzo McCray from Ameot. You are the COO, correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. Yeah, appreciate you joining and appreciate you making the time.
Sure, absolutely.
That being said, would you mind just telling us a little bit about your kind of background as a whole and journey that led you to hopping on the podcast and really how you got to where you are today?
Okay, absolutely. So again, my name is Lorenzo McCray, and I'm the COO of Ameot, and we are a startup cybersecurity software provider, and we have we're tackling the big challenge of cybersecurity in the world of AI, and so it's a really exciting time for us. It really is. Um, Let me go back and tell you a little bit more about myself personally.
Thank you.
I am a Virginia Tech alumni. I graduated within mechanical engineering, and really I started off my career in machine design, a lot of manufacturing, high speed industrial equipment, um, all sorts of equipment, from you know, the automotive industry to small household appliances um, to tobacco industry. I mean, so wide variety of design
Yeah,
experience,
for sure.
and I eventually evolved into the quality space. Quality engineering to be specific. During my career, um, I was able to spend some time with one of my coworkers that was in IT, and that's kind of how I transitioned over into the cybersecurity space. Even though I maintained my engineering background, we stayed in touch, and he decided to venture into cybersecurity, and he started his own company. And uh, because we were friends, he was telling me about it all the time, and we joined forces and decided to tackle this together.
That's awesome. And that is Amiot, correct?
Amiot, that's correct.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. I mean, hey, they say it's all about who you know. I'd say you're a good example of that for sure. No,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's great. No, I appreciate the background. I mean, honestly, for myself as well, it's like didn't really have a cybersecurity specific background, but feel like it's a great place to be right now. It was, 3 to 5 years ago, and I think that's only going to continue. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
that should be a good conversation. But that being said, yeah, moving into cybersecurity, itself, I'd say when you look at kind of the space from a little bit more of a wider view, your background, I'm not sure how many years now that you've been in cybersecurity, but are there any like major shifts or trends that you feel like are really shaping the future of the industry right now?
Absolutely. I would say I've been in the industry 5 years now, but the major trend right now really is AI technology. It's kind of hard to ignore. As you know, uh, AI technology has been a fun tool for a lot of people to write essays and to create poetry and write books and so forth. But unfortunately, AI technology is also has been weaponized and has been used to wreak havoc. And one of those areas would be cybersecurity. But we also have people in the cybersecurity space that are also using the same technology to defend software and applications and so forth. And so that's really been a big challenge within the cybersecurity space due to the very nature of a lot of the cybersecurity solutions that are on the market today. So a lot of these solutions are detection and response based. In other words, they're actually looking for malicious activity and so they can respond to it as quickly as possible.
For sure.
And that sounds great. However, a lot of people are misconceived in thinking that these high dollar cybersecurity solutions are actually protecting them, their computers, their networks from being breached to begin with.
Making it, yeah, pretty much impossible, which frankly is just never going to be the case. It's like it always adapting and always need to kind of stay on your toes. And yeah, I think that it really just is with AI, it goes against kind of that rules and signatures based approach. Where it's, hey, just kind of here's what we have in. If we see this, then we're going to stop it. But it's all about kind of the, 0-day threats and things that we've never seen before. That's, yeah, really going to be a little bit more problematic moving forward. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's what the existing traditional cybersecurity solutions have to offer. Um, Detect and respond. But unfortunately, it's a day short.
yeah,
Um, and in many cases, it's 2, 6, 9 months short, because that's how long it takes for them to detect some of these breaches. And like you said, as AI technology evolves and people are weaponizing it, they're able to overwhelm systems with uh, attacks, with threats, and um, these detect and respond systems, um, a lot of times they're overwhelmed because they could have several breaches in place in their network, wreaking havoc before they're even detected, before the first one's detected.
and then they kind of, yeah, snowball from there. I've seen it
Snowballs.
before, and yeah, it can definitely have say significant like financial ramifications along with, hey, just data that you're losing. And a lot of times I feel like that'll go along with customers' trust that hey, if you lost somebody's data or lost money for them, then I wouldn't want to work with you anymore. So, and we've seen that, I feel like, in the public space of, I think it was LinkedIn had a significant breach within the last couple of years. And yeah, just the sheer volume of customer data and like user data that got out was kind of mind boggling to me. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's great. I guess just, yeah, another question for you. For people like outside of cybersecurity, like, is there anything that you would think they, very evidently misunderstand or underestimate about like the work that's being done or how environments really are protected?
I would go back to the detect and response um, concept, because it's still being used, it's still
Yeah.
being sold. So the cybersecurity industry as a whole has not adjusted to these new technologies that are out here that are wreaking havoc. So I would say, if you're in a position to purchase cybersecurity software, do your homework,
Yeah.
because most of the solutions out there are not going to protect your network from attacks. They're just going to detect and respond.
Yep. No, I totally agree. And again, with the changing landscape that we're in, I think it's more of a, hey, how can I stay ahead of it as opposed to, like you said, kind of react to things that maybe are happening or have already happened. And at that point, you're too late. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, totally makes sense. For you, I know we talked about obviously AI is a big one, but are there any other like major opportunities for like innovation or impact that you have thought of lately or off the top of your mind that you want to share?
Right. So, uh, thank you for the the pitch there. Um, so at Ameot, we have come up with a cyber solution that that goes against the grain. So
Okay.
our software, um, in addition to detecting and responding, we actually isolate attacks before they're even able to execute. And so the traditional models, they're actually they do isolate as well, but they only isolate threats that they know about, threats that are on their blacklist.
Okay.
Whereas we isolate known and unknown threats. So it doesn't matter what's coming through. It doesn't matter how many attacks or how many different um, um, vendor attacks, vector attacks that are executed. Sentry will be able to isolate each and every one of these attacks from your system. So, because we're isolating basically everything.
Okay.
And that gives us time to study and to evaluate whether or not it is a malicious threat or not. If it's not a malicious threat, then it's allowed to operate on your system. If it is a malicious threat, then it will be disposed of.
Okay. Yeah, fantastic. And I know you mentioned Sentry, which I believe is one of your products or main service that you guys offer at Ameot. Would you be able to tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. It is cutting edge, innovative cybersecurity solution and that we've um, not only designed, developed, it also has been thoroughly tested for several years, and it is undefeated right now. Um, we've had millions of installs at this point
Fantastic.
without a single um, successful breach, and so um, we're very proud of the success of this software. Um, Let me tell you a little bit more about it. It um, is easy to. Let me start with this. It's easy to incorporate into your existing tech stack. You don't have
Very
to rip
important.
out and replace. So it plays well with your existing tech stack. What else? It actually complements the existing tech stack because we're isolate things. We're isolating potential threats in the beginning before they even have time to execute. Whereas some of the traditional solutions, they're detecting and responding to the threat after they've been breached. So we actually complement one another fairly well.
Oh, that's awesome because I think it's, important that people understand that, hey, it's not really going to be a one size fits all. And the fact that you guys will work with other existing technologies to benefit them, I think that kind of layered approach is becoming more and more prevalent. So yeah, that
Mhm.
definitely makes sense and is good to hear. After I guess you guys like detect and respond, do you guys also provide like MSSP type support where you are doing more investigations of their environment?
Absolutely, we have a fully managed we have fully managed services. So we do have people in house that would further investigate um, potential threats as well, and and make sure that there aren't any malicious actors in play.
That's awesome.
And that's also included with the price of our product. So it's you know some of the competitors, they will charge you for
It's
the
an
solution,
add-on.
and then it'll be add-ons later.
Yeah, it's things that you know you need, but you don't find out until later that hey, you need them, and they are yeah, heavy additional costs. So yeah, that's
That's
also
right.
a big benefit, and I appreciate the transparency. And yeah, you're right. I think that's something that not a lot of other people do share. So with that being said, I know you mentioned hey, you have probably a million or so installs, which a little shocking to me, honestly, just doing quick research on the website. Didn't really have a guess in mind, but that's fantastic. Do you have any like specifically proud moments or like customer examples? Not that you have to share, customer names or anything, but just a good example of how you guys have either helped somebody, prevent an attack or just benefit that you provided for them.
Sure. I would like to. Um, I'm not. I'm on the operations side of the
Okay.
business, so I don't have any personal experience
Yeah,
as
no
far as
pressure.
background with the customers. But what I would like to do is to bring on one of my business partners that could speak more to that point
Yeah.
on a later episode, if you would.
Yeah, would love to do that. No, I was like, I'd probably ask you for anybody else you know in the space at the end of the call, but you bring it up yourself. No, I appreciate it. I really do. And it helps, helps the podcast, helps myself. And like I said, it's really just a lot of research and understanding like what else is going on in the cybersecurity space. Yeah,
Mhm.
that'd be fantastic and very much appreciated.
Can I
Just
add one more point?
please.
Speaking about Sentry, we have so much confidence in our product that we're offering a $500,000 cybersecurity warranty. Don't know if anyone else in the industry is doing it, um, but if anyone uh, is protected by Sentry and there's a successful breach, we will provide a $500,000 warranty, no questions asked.
Wow.
And but like I said, to this point, we never had to use it.
Okay. Hey, that's one of the best guarantees I feel like I've heard it anywhere. And I wouldn't even say cybersecurity, but anywhere else. So that's yeah, that's pretty awesome. Especially if you guys are confident enough to make that, then you must be pretty confident in the product. So that is
Yes, sir.
definitely great to hear. I'll keep that in mind though. So yeah, maybe I'll get some pen testers to come test you guys in.
Yeah,
Try to figure
please.
that out.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hey, it's like best way to kind of advertise your product is let it get kind of get tested to the full extent and see how you do. So,
That's
yeah,
it.
that's great. So I guess yeah, just a few more questions with like Amiot specifically. Um, so I know you guys said you were kind of in the SMB space yourself, or kind of small business, but where like overall would you say you exist right now, and what does growth look like for you guys over the next 6 months, 12 months or so?
Okay. I would say growth should be, we're looking for major growth in the next, I would say 2 to 3 years. And that's due to the the havoc that's being
Yeah,
reached throughout the industry. We're we're ramping up our education of what we have to offer, as well as what's currently out there, just to let people know that this is a winnable war within the cybersecurity space. You just have to understand the current landscape and then the solutions that are available to you, and understanding the difference between detection first versus prevention first security.
yeah, I definitely think we're in more of a proactive versus reactive space, and the people who are going to be reactive are kind of going to be left behind, or at
That's it.
least kind of suffer the consequences uh,
Mhm.
of those choices. So yeah, it's good to know that you guys are thinking ahead. Curious, like up to this point, and I apologize. You guys have been a company or been in the space for how long now?
5 years. Well,
5 years.
I've been with the company 5 years. It's been around 11 years.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah,
Okay, so you guys, yeah, probably have a good understanding, even just over the last 10 years, which I feel like is, I'm sure, infinite changes.
that's
And
it.
just understanding all that's gone on up to this point, and I probably have a good idea of like where we're going to be in the future in the next, 5 years or so, 10 years or so, 25 years down the road of how much different it will look.
Yeah. Well, the cybersecurity industry has to shift its focus. It really has to be more proactive. If not, this things are going to look really ugly in the next few years, and it's not going to take long for people to see,
Yeah,
because AI technology is continuing to advance, and it's not advancing every 6 months; it's advancing each month.
yeah,
And unfortunately, there are more people using it as a weapon as opposed to for good.
yeah,
And
completely
so,
agree.
if we can't shift the focus of the people that are offering the solutions, um, and the future doesn't look too bright.
Yeah, no, that actually brings me to my next point. So just curious for you guys, like, have there been, or like, what is probably the toughest part of getting Amiot or Sentry, into the hands of your ideal customers?
The toughest part is, I feel like I keep repeating myself, is educating people.
Okay.
Um, They believe that because there's so many products currently on the market, that if they go out and buy the most expensive products out there, they're getting the best solution. But that's not the case.
Yep.
So we're having to really not just re-educate the end users, but also re-educating MSPs and MSSPs and VARs and tech vendors. We have to educate them so they understand what they're selling.
Yep. No,
They're
that totally makes sense. Yeah. And I mean, you mentioned end users, and I feel like you could have all the security in the world, and if you still have end users who want to, venture out into their own space and click in any links and emails, then I think that's important too. And I don't know if that's anything you guys do in terms of actual end user education, but I think it's also just a very good, yeah, space that people need to explore a little bit more in terms of like companies and employees. So,
Mhm.
good to know for sure. Do you guys have any like, yeah, obviously like the education part, but are there any like specific bottlenecks you experience around like pipeline outreach, lead conversion? I guess that's more on the sales side, but I don't know if you deal with that as well.
Yeah, right now I'm dealing with a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Um, so I would say, as far as bottlenecks other than education, I would say it would be it's still education marketing,
Okay.
education marketing. Um, those are really the big things. Once we are able to re-educate the public, the resellers, um, I think it should just be a matter of time, because once they have the understanding between the two types of solutions, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's a
Yeah,
no-brainer.
totally fair. I guess just thinking about it from like a business perspective, when you guys reach out, obviously
Yes.
you're having that conversation. Is it more so people reaching out to you, you reaching out to them, and them agreeing to have a conversation? Because I would just think if it's more cold leads, you're right. Probably a lot of people do not have cybersecurity experience and probably don't understand why they need this. Is
Yeah.
that, I guess, like, does that make sense? Is that what you feel like
That's
is
how we're
one of the
moving
main
forward.
issues?
Yeah, that's how we're moving forward right now.
Okay.
A lot of cold calls, a lot of automated emails, so forth. Um, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
continue to educate.
Gotcha. Totally get it. And yeah, I think it's again, you know, before I was in cybersecurity, I probably wouldn't have had a good understanding of exactly how it all works. And even till this day, I'm still learning. I feel like something new every week, and yeah, new tools and everything else kind of in the space. So yeah, definitely, yeah, good to know and good to be aware of. Cool. Gonna skip that, and we'll keep it under 10 minutes here. um,
Okay.
I guess, yeah, do you guys have any specific, priorities even in the immediate, like the next quarter? Anything that you guys are really focusing on?
We're focusing more on government contracts,
Okay.
um, whether they be local, state, federal. But yeah, we're we're trying to get into that space a little more.
Yeah, I think that's a great space to be in, honestly. Especially, yeah, with just the sheer volume and funding that the government has. Good place to be and try to venture into, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you
And they
see,
can use protection.
yeah, oh yeah. Um, I guess for you guys, like, where would you say you feel like the biggest opportunity or risk comes to when you're talking about like scaling and ability to grow?
Let's see.
I mean, I guess it might go back to like, hey, the challenges that you guys are facing, but uh,
The same ones. I'm just major challenges. I don't see any major challenges for us right now,
okay.
because it's really not going to be technology. It's not going to be staffing. It's not going to be unknown threats. It's eh,
Do you feel like I mean, just going back to your previous point of like, is it getting your technology in the hands of the customers who need it?
no. I really, it goes back to educating them. Once they have an understanding of the difference between the two types, the the two design concepts. It's educating and then making sure they have the funding, the budget. But really, we have the answer to that as well. Um, we're very competitive as far as our pricing, so that shouldn't even be a major issue. It's understanding what they currently have, the shortcomings of what they currently have, and what else is offered out here, and why it may be better than what they currently have.
Yeah, totally makes sense. And yeah, I'm sure you guys will figure it out either way. But
Yeah,
that's business and that's life. So cool. Well, I guess yeah, one kind of I try to ask this to everybody, at least plan to. But let's say hypothetically, you had kind of a magic wand where you could fit, one thing in your business right now that's either holding you back, slowing you down, to get where you want to be. What would that one thing be? I think I know
more
your
exposure.
answer, but
More exposure.
okay, cool. Yeah, simple, but like I said, I was like, all right,
Yeah,
you've mentioned it enough times throughout the call, and I was like, I think I know where he's going, but I'll ask it anyway. But no, that's fantastic, and I appreciate you sharing. I guess, yeah, just for you, if anybody's watching, is there a specific place that people can learn more about the product or get in touch with you to learn more?
absolutely. So I would encourage everyone to go to their local tech vendors, whether it be MSPs, MSSPs, bars, so forth. Go to them and ask for Sentry. And if they don't currently offer Sentry, ask them if they provide any prevention-based solutions. And you can always contact us through our website if your tech vendors do not offer Sentry or any prevention-based security.
Okay, so they can purchase directly with you as well.
Uh, they cannot purchase directly from us,
Okay,
but we can point them to resellers that
gotcha.
they can purchase from.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And the website I know you mentioned is ameot.com. That's ameot.com, and I'll try and drop a link in the comments for you in the profile so they can get there as well. But
Okay.
yeah, for the most part, that is kind of everything I think I had for you. So very much, yeah, appreciate the time and appreciate you sharing, kind of your journey and how you got here and your
Mhm.
experience with Ameot.